Shoo, Mansory cars so expensive, even billionaires think twice. Number C. Mansory Rolls-Royce Ghost. A stock Rolls-Royce Ghost already sits above 400美元, leaning lund. Mansory's version climbs far past that number. And the difference is obvious before the engine even starts. The 675-liter VR is rebuilt to push out 720小时 horsepower and over 1000 Newton meters of torque, taking the Ghost from 0 to 100 in just 4 seconds with a top speed near 250 kilometers per hour. But the number that really moves the price is the bodywork. Inside, the cabin gets a fully bespoke leather scheme and a hand-built Starlight headliner packed with over 1,000 fiber optic points. Nothing here is bought off a shelf. Every piece is commissioned, and the invoice grows with every decision the owner makes. Number 9. Mansory Rolls-Royce Spectre. The regular Spectre already starts near $450,000, but Mansory only ever released 2 full transformation kits for this car worldwide. 2. That scarcity alone drives the price into rare territory. The reworked electric powertrain produces 585 horsepower and 900 Newton meters of torque, with a real-world range of 465 kilometers and a 0 to 100 time of 4.5 seconds. Inside, custom leather tones and ambient lighting are designed just for this cabin. With only 2 examples on the planet, owning a Mansory Spectre is less about horsepower and more about owning something almost nobody else ever will. Number 8. Mansory Rolls-Royce Cullinan Black Badge. The factory Black Badge Cullinan already costs over $400,000. Mansory's version is priced around 890,000 euros, close to $1, making it one of the most expensive SUVs sold anywhere. The twin-turbo 675-liter VR is tuned to 600小时 horsepower and 950 Newton meters of torque, hitting 每小时100公里 in 5.0S econs with a 280 km/h top speed. But those numbers are not what buyers are paying. 4. Inside, the Black Badge cabin, already one of the most luxurious in the industry, is elevated further with deep color leather, contrast stitching, and carbon fiber trim placed by hand. At this price, it stops being a modified Rolls-Royce and becomes one of the most expensive SUVs in existence. Number 7. Mansory Mercedes MG63 Grande Edition. A standard G63 runs around $180,000. Mansory's Grande Edition costs close to 4 times that. The 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 is reworked to 820 horsepower and 1,150 Newton meters of torque, cutting the 0 to 100 time down to 4.0 seconds with a top speed of 250 kilometers per hour. Inside, 2-tone leather combinations Mercedes never offers from the factory, carbon fiber inlays on every panel, and illuminated door trim finished with stitching that takes days per Pascal Nel. At close to $750,000, the Grande Edition proves even an entry-level luxury SUV can be turned into a near $1 million machine. Number 6. Mansory Ferrari Purosang Pugnator. The standard Purosang starts at 430美元. The Pugnator pushes that toward 600美元, Lininting, and the naturally aspirated VCR underneath justifies most of it. It is the only naturally aspirated VFR SUV Ferrari has ever built, producing 750小时 horsepower and 700 Newton meters of torque. And Ferrari has already confirmed engines like this will not be around forever. Inside, every surface is reworked with materials that go beyond what Ferrari's own customization program offers. At roughly $600,000, the Pugnator shows that even Ferrari's most expensive SUV can get significantly more expensive once Mansory is done with it. Number 5. Mansory BMW M5 P850. A standard M5 costs about $115,000. The P850 costs nearly 10 times that once every option is added. The 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 is reworked to 850 horsepower and 1,150 Newton meters of torque, with a top speed of 325 kilometers per hour. Inside, leather combinations BMW's own M division has never offered are fitted entirely by hand. The P850 proves that at Mansory, the badge on the hood matters far less than how far the client is willing to go. Number 4. Mansory Carbonado GTS. A stock Lamborghini Aventador costs around $400,000. The Carbonado GTS costs well over $1 million. And the name explains why. Carbonado is the name of the rarest, hardest diamond material known to exist. And this car earns it by being built almost entirely from carbon fiber, rather than just trimmed in it. The 65-liter VR is pushed to 820小时 horsepower and 780 Newton meters of torque, running 0减100英2。8秒一 comes with a 每小时355公里 top speed. Passed. No, 1 million. The Carbonado GTS is the clearest proof on this list that more carbon fiber simply means a bigger invoice. Number 3. Mansory F9 XX Spider. The standard Ferrari SF90 Spider costs around $550,000. The F9 XX Spider costs significantly more, reflecting one of Mansory's most extensive hybrid hypercar builds. The hybrid system is pushed to 1,100 horsepower and 980 Newton meters of torque, hitting 100 kilometers per hour in 4 seconds with a top speed of 355 kilometers per hour. Inside, custom leather, carbon fiber accents, and Alcantara are priced as individual upgrades, rather than a single package. The F9 XX Spider sits near the top of Mansory's lineup, because hybrid performance engineering never comes cheap. Number 2. Mercedes-Benz Falcon by Carlex Design. Price, €2 million. This one is not built by Mansory but by Carlex Design, a studio operating in the same space with the same philosophy. No catalog, no fixed price list, just a client and an invoice with no ceiling. A standard G-Class costs around $140,000. The G-Falcon costs roughly 14 times that. Every panel is rebuilt, every surface hand finished through a multi-layer process that takes weeks rather than hours, and the interior is built entirely from materials sourced for this one commission. Only a handful will ever exist. Nice. At €2 million, the G-Falcon stands as one of the most expensive SUVs ever built by anyone. Number 1. Mansory Bugatti Veyron Sapphire Edition. There was never any other choice for the top spot. A. Used. Standard Veyron already sells for upwards of $2 million today. The Sapphire Edition pushes that figure dramatically higher. The 80-liter quad-turbo W16 is reworked to produce over 1,190 horsepower and 1,310 Newton meters of torque, with a 0 to 100 time of 25 seconds and a top speed above 410 kilometers per hour. Inside, custom sapphire-toned leather and hand-finished carbon fiber surfaces round out the most extreme build Mansory has ever produced. Every car on this list started out extraordinary. Mansory and studios like Carlex looked at each one and decided that wasn't expensive enough. More carbon fiber, more horsepower, more hours of hand finishing, and a price that climbs with every single option selected. That is why even billionaires pause before signing off on a Mansory invoice. Not because they can't afford it, but because they're deciding just how far they actually want to go.